Back in the day, I told my childhood best friend, Anna, that I had a crush on her friend, but begged her not to tell. Now, at that friend's wedding, I grabbed Anna by the collar. "You're really good at keeping secrets, you know that?" She just scoffed. "Say you like her one more time, and I swear I'll knock you out." Chloe was marrying Ethan. The old high school group chat was exploding. I took a bite of an apple. A wedding right after graduation meant a gift, which was just another blow to my already struggling finances. I called Anna. "Hey, did you know about Chloe's wedding?" "I'm a bridesmaid," she said, her voice sounding strained, like she was about to cry. "So, does that mean you don't have to give a gift?" I asked, my own voice cracking. "Yes," she snapped, probably hearing the desperation in my voice. Her tone turned impatient. "Noah, don't tell me you're still hung up on Chloe," she said. I was stunned. "She's getting married. Don't you dare go and make a scene." Her voice was sharp, and I could hear the faint sound of a shower running in the background. Before I could say anything, she hung up. I clenched my fist, snarling at my phone before calling her right back. "What?" The water had stopped, but her voice was still laced with irritation. "Can I borrow $500 for the gift?" Predictably, she sounded even more annoyed. Come to think of it, I did have a thing for Chloe back in middle school. She transferred to our school and sat right next to Anna. Two gorgeous girls sitting together. They were buried in love letters every day, all pink, scented, and full of heartfelt confessions. Don't ask, I wrote one too. For Chloe. But Anna just threw it out with the rest of them. "Thanks," Chloe had said to her. So, I tried a different tactic. On the way home from school, I spent a small fortune on a pint of Ben Jerry's for Anna. She had me suspiciously. "What do you want?" I gave her my most charming, goofy grin. "Just trying to be a good neighbor. You know, in case you ever need a favor." I pucker my lips, shifting my feet awkwardly. "So, your desk mate is pretty cute." She smiled a little too sweetly. "Your eyeballs fall out? You can't see for yourself. Why did such a beautiful girl have to have such a sharp tongue? Don't try to play games with me." I leaned in, my voice a dramatic whisper next to her ear. "I have a crush on Chloe. Don't you tell her." Then I scurried away like a startled lizard. I was sure she'd spill the beans. Based on my experience with my elementary school friends who'd rat you out to the teacher in a day, I expected Chloe to know by tomorrow. But I waited a day, 2 days, 3, and now, all these years later, on Chloe's wedding day, Anna had still kept my secret. I showed up late to the wedding. The ceremony was almost over. My buddy Jake caught me. "Dude, where have you been? And what happened to your hair?" I tried to flip my hair with a devil-may-care attitude. Went to this place in Fremont. Asked the guy for something edgy. The truth was I went for a simple trim, fell asleep in the chair, and the stylist butchered my hair. So now I was sporting this disaster at a wedding. Anna walked over, dressed impeccably. She ruffled my hair and said to Jake, "Look at your little brother, all grown up." I swatted her hand away. "He's your little brother." Anna clicked her tongue. "Who did this to you? I'm going to find them." The threat in her voice was real. "Forget it," I said. "She paid me $500 in damages. I'll transfer you the money later." Man, being broke after graduation sucks. Even the red envelope for the cash gift was one-eyed swiped from Anna's place. Jake showed me a video of Chloe kissing the groom. "Chloe looks beautiful," I said, trying to sound casual. "Ethan's a lucky guy. Guess my moon is set." After the wedding, Jake and I went out for drinks to celebrate my 21 years of singledom. There was one secret I hadn't told Anna. On my way to the salon, I'd wiped out on a rental scooter and landed at the feet of a street psychic. She told me I had no romantic luck in my chart and wouldn't find a girlfriend until I was at least 30. But if I wanted to change my fate, a bold new hairstyle could open up a sliver of a chance for love. 30. By then, I'd be a millionaire. Of course I'd have a girlfriend. But her words scared me, so I let the stylist go wild. Only later did it occur to me, what kind of legit psychic sets up shop in front of supercuts? I stumbled to Anna's door, drunk and disoriented. Bang, bang, bang. The door opened. "Noah, what are you doing here so late?" The alcohol hit me all at once. I launched myself at her, wrapping my arms and legs around her like a koala. I pinched her lips, they were soft and cool. "You're so good at keeping secrets," I slurred. "I told you everything. and you never said a word. You have to answer me. Am I really going to be single until I'm 30? Anna grunted. If you ever tell me you like someone else again, I swear I'll kill you. In a final burst of drunken energy, I headbutt her. The last thing I remember was tasting something soft and cool, like tofu. The midday sun hit my face, and I slowly woke up. A dark gray room, navy blue sheets. This wasn't my room. It looked like Anna's. I pursed my lips, confused. Where was my jacket? Just then, Anna appeared, leaning against the doorframe. You're awake. I was starting to think you were planning to move in. I came over last night, right? You don't remember? She looked away for a second, a little uncomfortable, her tongue pressing against the inside of her cheek. You don't remember what happened last night? A horrifying thought struck me. My jacket was gone. You wouldn't take advantage of me, would you? I know I'm irresistible. Anna looked utterly unimpressed. She took a deep breath. I would sooner jump out that window than lay a finger on you. Now come on, get up and eat. I have to go out soon. I scrambled out of bed. At the breakfast table, her phone kept buzzing. Message after message from someone with a pink, fluffy bunny as their profile picture. A guy. Anna ignored it, focusing on her food. I couldn't take it anymore. Who's that? A guy. Duh, I can see that. What's the deal? Is he your boyfriend? She shot me a look, leaning back in her chair, her dark eyes fixed on me. If I had a boyfriend, I would have defended my honor last night and not let you in the door. Honor? That didn't sound right. My hungover brain was fuzzy, and I felt like I was missing something. The buzzing from her iMessage continued, grating on my nerves. Is he trying to ask you out? Probably, she said, taking a bite of toast. It's true what they say, when it rains, it pours. As Anna's childhood friend, I'd seen countless guys try and fail to win her over. They were sweet, they were fun, but Anna was always focused on her studies, on coding. The guys who pursued her all had one thing in common. They were incredibly nice to her. I, on the other hand, was the one who stole her baby formula when we were 1 and knocked her flat on the ground when we were 2, leaving her wailing. In middle school, I got my hands on a cheesy romance novel, something like 99 Ways to Seduce a CEO. The first rule was to challenge her, to push her buttons. Women love a bad boy, it said. My dad would have killed me if he caught me reading it. So I hid the book at Anna's place and would read it while I was there, supposedly copying her homework. After finishing it, I felt like I discovered the secret to life. But then I realized the only person I'd ever really pushed buttons with was Anna. For instance, she hated cilantro, so I planted a whole garden of it on her balcony. She hated cheesy romance novels, so I made her read them out loud to me. Her deadpan voice reciting. He leaned in close, his voice a low growl. You're playing with fire, woman, still gives me goosebumps. But she never fell for me. That's why no one could ever win over Anna. Lost in thought, my friendly gaze toward Anna turned into a glare. If you don't like the guy, don't lead him on. Here, let me help you turn him down gently. She handed me her phone, skeptical. I quickly typed out a few messages. Me, hey Anna, have you eaten? Her, not yet. Me, what, are you asking me out? Her, no, just making sure you do. Go eat. Now, that's an order. I topped it off with a bossy panda sticker. If this guy still liked Anna after that, he needed to see a therapist about his codependency issues. Sure enough, he didn't reply. He was probably turned off. Anna took her phone back, glanced at the chat history, and let out a laugh that was half amusement, half exasperation. This is your solution? You got a problem with it? Yes. This is a small city. I have a reputation to maintain. She then typed furiously. A moment later, she showed me the screen. Sorry about that. My boyfriend was messing around. My reputation as a boyfriend took a hit. After leaving Anna's, I headed to my shop. I own a small dessert shop downtown. The rent is steep, but it's my passion. I started baking in college, but I was afraid of getting fat, so I used Anna as my guinea pig. She resigned herself to her fate, letting me feed her cake after cake until she finally put on a few pounds and refused to eat any more of my creations. But by then, my skills were solid. After graduation, my parents gave me some startup money, and with all the marketing and renovation costs, I was basically broke. I'd been surviving thanks to Anna's generosity. Luckily, her game development company was taking off, so she wasn't short on cash. Ding. A customer walked in. It was a girl with striking eyes, a sharp jawline, and a confident, almost boyish swagger. Her skin was flawless. She'd been coming in a lot lately, always ordering the same thing, a slice of vanilla lemon cake. My employee, a college sophomore named Leo, tugged on my sleeve, giving me a look. I knew what he meant. Dude, it's that girl again. I shot him a look back. She's gorgeous, right? Totally. You gonna make a move or what? Nah, I'm too old for this. Then I'm going for it. But the beautiful girl walked right up to me. Hey, can I get a slice of the vanilla lemon cake? Sure thing, I said, then told Leo to box it up for her. The girl smiled brightly at me. Hey, can I get your number? Leo was practically vibrating with excitement behind me. Go for it, man. She's a total smoke show. I felt myself blush as I added her contact. Her profile picture was a silhouette of a person standing on a cliff overlooking the ocean at sunset. Her username was just a single period. I'm Maya, by the way, she said. I couldn't help but think that if I'd met this girl a few years earlier, maybe I wouldn't have listened to that crazy psychic and gotten this stupid haircut. Maybe it was just a string of bad luck that I hadn't dated anyone for so long. I'd had a few opportunities, but with girls like Anna and Chloe setting the bar so high, I could never bring myself to settle for anyone less. Meeting a quality girl like Maya felt like a sign. I glanced at my reflection in the pastry case. My hair was just long enough to cover my ears, but no amount of styling could hide its awkward choppiness. I clenched my fists. If I ever saw that psychic again, I'd show her what's what. It started raining on my way home. I didn't have an umbrella, so I just made a run for it. When I got back to my apartment, the door was slightly ajar. My first thought was a break-in. I always carry a small fruit knife in my bag, so I pulled it out. But when I pushed the door open, I saw my landlord standing in the middle of a disaster zone. It's not time to renew the lease yet, is it? I thought I had 3 more months. The landlord, a decent middle-aged guy, looked apologetic. Hey kid, the pipes in the bathroom burst. I had to get a plumber in here. The place is flooding the apartment downstairs. You can't live here anymore. You'll have to find a new place. It's that bad. At least he was a nice landlord. Yeah, I'll refund you the rest of this month's rent and your security deposit. I went back to my room to pack. My fall clothes were thin and didn't take up much space, but all my other stuff was a mess. I managed to fill 2 large suitcases. The rain was still coming down, so I called Anna. It rang several times before she picked up. Her voice was thick with sleep, a little hoarse. Noah, this better be important, or you're dead. My eyes narrowed. Something was off. Why did it take her so long to answer? I glanced at the time. It was almost 11 p.m. 11 o'clock. A very suggestive time. A single woman, a vibrant single woman. My mind went to some interesting places. Did I interrupt something? I asked carefully. I heard her shift in bed on the other end. What do you think? You woke me up. Oh, you were sleeping. The disappointment in my voice must have been obvious. You sound disappointed, she said, her voice sharp. Very. I pressed on. Were you dreaming? There was a pause. Yes. Who about? Silence. After 5 long seconds, she said, spit it out. You have 3 seconds before I hang up. My apartment's flooded. I have no money, and I need a place to stay for a few nights. Or maybe more than a few nights. Okay, she said instantly. 3 seconds, huh? Fine, come over. It's not like I was going to say no. Her voice was still groggy, but I knew she meant it. After we graduated, her dad had suggested I stay with her for a while, but I'd refused. It would have cramped my style. Since you're so eager to have me, you can come pick me up. Save me the Uber fare. By the time it got me to her place, it was almost midnight. My hair and clothes were damp from the rain and felt uncomfortable. I immediately opened my suitcase and grabbed a change of clothes. Anna watched me, an amused look on her face. Before heading into the bathroom, I jerked my head at her. If you're not busy, you can help me unpack. I want to go straight to bed after my shower. It's not like you have anything better to do. I didn't wait for her to refuse, slamming the door shut with a loud bang. The message was clear. If you don't do it, you'll end up like this door. But of course, Anna came knocking. Even over the sound of the running water, I could hear her lecture. Next time, close the door gently. Doors are expensive. Anyone who says Anna isn't practical is a liar. Anna definitely knew how to live well. Her bathroom was decked out with top-of-the-line fixtures. It all made sense now. Her elegance was a part of her. Just like how she'd meticulously torn up all the cilantro I'd planted on her balcony into the shape of tiny knives. There was probably a moment back then when she seriously considered using a real one on me. I was in the shower for a good hour. When I came out, most of the lights in the apartment were off. I thought Anna had gone to bed, but a warm, yellow light was still on in the living room. She was lying on the couch, having changed into gray sweatpants and a white t-shirt. It was a cozy, domestic scene. I felt an uncontrollable urge to walk over to her. The couch was big, but she took up most of it. Luckily, I'm slim. I slowly sat down beside her, leaning in to get a closer look at my childhood friend. They say women with thin lips are passionate. I wondered if that was true for Anna. Her eyelashes were long and thick, and when she opened her eyes, those soulful eyes could make anything look emotional. Her features had lost their girlish softness and gained a certain sharpness. My hand had a mind of its own, and I reached out to pluck one of her eyelashes. Before I could, she opened her eyes as if she'd been expecting it. Her warm hand grabbed my wrist, and a jolt of heat shot through me, making me feel weak. I was about to explain my bizarre behavior when she pulled me forward, and I tumbled onto her chest. I could hear her heart beating. Her hand rested on my waist, and I could feel my face and ears burning. Anna's voice was husky and sexy. "Don't move, Scarlett Johansson." Who? She thought I was Scarlett Johansson. So, she was having that kind of dream? I unceremoniously shoved her hand away. My movement woke her up. I brushed off the spot she had touched. Gross. She seemed to understand what had happened. "Sorry," she said, looking embarrassed. "I guess I mistook you for someone else." The dream felt that real, huh? "It doesn't get more real than your soft, pale waist," she mumbled. "But who's Scarlett Johansson?" A small smile played on her lips, and she raised an eyebrow. "You don't know? Black Widow from the Avengers. Who dreams in full names. Is she hot?" I asked, trying to sound casual. Anna laughed, bending her left leg and covering her eyes with her hand. Her voice was full of amusement. "She's a goddess. So much for childhood friendship. A pretty face is no match for a great body." Living at Anna's meant no rent, but I couldn't just be a freeloader. It was already 7 p.m. She was probably off work. I sent her an iMessage. My contact name for her was Chief of Complaints. "Me, you coming home tonight?" I sold a cake, and when I checked my phone, she had replied. Her contact name for me was Anna's test subject. "Anna, starving." Me, "I was thinking of making dinner." "Anna, you're cooking?" Me, "Just to be clear, I'd rather starve than eat takeout." "Anna, stubborn, aren't you?" Me, "Of course not. Let's have a taco night. It's the only thing I know how to make." "Anna, fine." Me, "Come pick me up then. We can go to the grocery store downstairs from your place." I sent a smug-looking panda emoji along with it. "Anna, okay. I'm leaving work now. I'll come get you." Before I could reply, a clear, sweet voice called out, "Noah, do you have any cake left?" It was Maya. After she added me a few days ago, we hadn't talked much. She'd sent me a picture of herself playing tennis, and I'd replied politely, but I wasn't really interested. Her Instagram feed confirmed she was just a typical college student. I smiled. "Sorry, we had a really good day. The lemon one you like is all sold out." Maya looked disappointed. "Oh, really?" I chuckled. "I saw on your feed that you're really into sports. Doesn't eating cake mess with your training?" Anna, my original guinea pig, had sworn off my cakes after gaining a little weight and spent a month at the gym to get her figure back. She dragged me there once, and I made her do that viral TikTok challenge where you hula hoop while suspended in the air. I still have the video on my phone. I've been thinking about Anna a lot lately. I snapped back to reality. Maya had said something. "Sorry, what did you say?" She smiled, revealing 2 dimples. I said it's because I share the cake with my roommates. What was I supposed to say to that? Why do you share it with your roommates? Because of you? Some things are better left unsaid. I'm not looking for love right now. I'm just trying to make money. Well, you could always try my... Before I could finish, a figure appeared outside the glass window. It was Anna, wearing a navy blue trench coat, her hair falling messily across her forehead. It was already November, and the wind outside was strong. The tip of her nose was red, and her thin lips were curved into a playful smirk as she watched me. My voice caught in my throat. Why did I suddenly feel so awkward and flustered? Anna pushed the door open and walked in, smoothly addressing Maya. You should try his blueberry cake. It's pretty good too. She then turned to me with a small laugh. Ready to go home? I thought we were going grocery shopping. Something fell off. Almost. We'll head out in a minute. Maya's ears were turning red. I sighed, boxed up a slice of blueberry cake, and pushed it towards her. This one's on me. It's good to try new things. Hope to see you again soon. Maya let out a dejected sigh. She's really your sister? I patted her on the head. Bye, Maya. You got to go kropka. After Maya left, I gave Leo a few instructions and then left with Anna for the supermarket near her apartment. The heat in the car was blasting, and I took off my scarf. The back of my neck felt itchy. I had just bought this coat today and hadn't taken the tag off yet. The coat was so bulky I could barely lift my arm. I turned my back to Anna. Hey, can you get this tag off for me? I heard a slap as her hand hit the steering wheel. I looked at her, confused. She unceremoniously pushed my head forward. Don't move, she said, her voice lazy and a little rough. You wanted me to get the tag, right? Her fingers were cool against my skin, and I shivered. What are you shaking for? She murmured. I didn't answer. Her fingertips traced the collar of my coat, a slow, deliberate path that sent a shiver down my spine. With a small snap, the tag was off. She held it up for me to see, a strange, knowing look in her eyes. In the supermarket, Anna pushed the cart while I picked out the ingredients. When we got to the alcohol aisle, I asked her, Want to get some wine? She raised an eyebrow. Are you drinking? I'm good either way. She chuckled. All right, let's get some. We ended up buying a lot more than we planned. My treat today, I declared. Anna was scanning the items at the self-checkout. I was bored, looking around when someone caught my eye. The person was wearing a simple, traditional-style jacket and was rail-thin. But the most distinctive feature was the pair of round sunglasses. It was her, the psychic who'd convinced me to get that ridiculous haircut. Hey, I whispered to Anna, you finish up here? I'll pay you back. I just ran into an old friend. I'm gonna go say hi. Anna nodded. Go ahead. I walked over to the woman. I could hear her whistling cheerfully. I put on a fake smile and clapped a hand on her shoulder. Long time no see, master, I said through gritted teeth. The woman flinched, then turned around with a practiced smile. Mr. Carter, good to see you. Your hair looks great. Then she bolted. Get back here. She was fast, but she probably hadn't counted on me being the high school men's long-distance running champion. I cornered her in an alley. Run. I taunted, not even out of breath. Why'd you stop running? How can a guy like you run so fast? She panted. Don't ask. Let's just say I'm full of righteous fury. It had taken months for my hair to grow out of that awkward phase. I'd had to go to another salon to get it reshaped into something decent. My anger surged, and I grabbed her by the collar. Give me back my hair. If you can't tell fortunes, then don't. She was as light as a feather, swaying in my grip. Wait, Mr. Carter, let's be civilized. I'm a scholar. I let her go. She had a point. I grabbed her wrist. Let's go to the police station. She struggled to break free. Mr. Carter, give me a chance to make it up to you. Her voice was sincere. I crossed my arms. And how are you going to do that? You got a magic potion that'll make my hair grow back. Well, no. Let's not involve the police. But I really can tell fortunes. I lied to you last time, but it was just to meet my quota. The whole, you won't find love until you're 30 thing, that was a lie. Let me do a real reading for you. She sat down on the ground. Look at your face. You're destined for wealth and greatness. You haven't dated anyone yet, have you? No, that's because the time wasn't right. I was starting to get interested, so I squatted down and listened to her nonsense. You actually have a lot of romantic potential, but there's someone blocking it. Really, think about it. Who's the woman you see most often in your life, besides your mother? And I predict that your girlfriend will be exceptionally talented, successful at a young age, and wealthy. I frowned. This was sounding more and more like a cheesy romance novel. What will she look like? I can only give you a general idea. But she'll definitely be beautiful, probably wears glasses, has a great figure, and is tall. The two of you will look perfect together. A real power couple. It sounded like she was just listing off tropes from a novel. Just then, I heard the sound of steady footsteps. The alley was dimly lit. A figure emerged from the shadows. It was Anna. She was wearing her navy trench coat over an all-black outfit. I vaguely remembered her saying she had a business meeting today. The dim light outlined her silhouette, and perched on her nose was a pair of silver-framed glasses. My mind immediately started playing the dramatic background music from a Korean drama. The psychic's words echoed in my ears. Beautiful, wears glasses, great figure, tall, wealthy. My hand clenched unconsciously. Time seemed to stand still. Anna's thin lips parted. What are you doing? Do I have rich written on my face? I felt the fantasy shatter. She was holding a large leak, pointing it at me. Are you crazy? Chasing a scam artist by yourself? Didn't you think to tell me? What if you got hurt? So much for my domineering CEO. As far as I knew, none of them were from Midwest. After a taco night, I watched her carefully. She still seemed a little annoyed. I quickly got up to take a shower. The smell of tacos was all over me. I didn't care if she was mad. I happily turned on some music. But halfway through my shower, the water stopped. I had soap in my eyes and couldn't open them. I blindly grabbed a towel, wrapped it around my waist, and yelled, Anna! Her voice was sharp. What is it? The water's out. I have soap in my eyes. Can you come in and help me rinse them? The door opened. Anna didn't say anything. I heard her try the shower handle. No water. She turned and got a bottle of mineral water, slowly pouring it over my eyes to wash away the soap. You get out. I'll fix it. My vision cleared. I leaned in close to Anna. She was smiling at me. I casually reached out and fiddled with the shower handle. The bathroom was steamy, and my face felt hot. Can you really fix this? My voice was trembling. Should be able to. It doesn't look too complicated, Anna said, a hint of laughter in her voice. Okay, well, I'll get out of your way then. I wrapped my wet hair in a towel, which conveniently hid my beet-red ears. Less than 10 minutes later, Anna was done. She leaned against the doorframe, tilting her head towards the bathroom. It's fixed. I was about to go back in, but she was blocking the way. I tugged on the corner of her shirt. Excuse me. Noah, Anna said, stopping me. She was smiling, her eyes seeming to see right through me. We stood there in silence for about 10 seconds. Then, she leaned in, her voice low and playful. Take your time. She licked her lips, her voice taking on a new, indefinable quality. I caught a cold. Anna had been busy lately, often coming home late or not at all. She and some friends from her computer science department had started developing a game in college. They'd had some success by their junior year and opened a studio together after graduation. With the end of the year approaching, she was probably swamped. The first snow of the year came late. My Facebook feed was filled with people sharing songs, mostly Miracles in December and the first snow. I walked out onto the balcony. The snow was falling softly. The heat was on full blast inside, so I had only thrown on a white sweater. My hands were freezing. I rubbed them together, took a picture of the snow-covered trees, and posted it on Facebook with the caption, "Watching the first snow alone." Comments from friends all over the country started rolling in. Anna commented too. Anna, then I'll come to you. Me, come on then. I'll be waiting. She didn't reply. But my best friend, Jake, sent me a message. Jake, are you trying to pick up guys? Me, you saw right through me. Jake, watching the first snow alone. So cheesy. You never used to be like this. No wonder you were using that cutesy voice when we talked on the phone the other day. Hilarious. Jake, let me guess who the lucky guy is. Me, it's Anna. Jake, don't tell me. Me, it's you. I know you too well. Anyway, if you're not busy, let's go for a walk. The square downtown should be pretty lively tonight. Jake and I walked through the square, arm in arm. He was right. It was packed with college couples. Street vendors were taking advantage of the romantic atmosphere, selling roses. Business was booming. Your apartment got flooded. Why didn't you come stay with me? He asked. Your place is too small. It can't contain my awesomeness. He narrowed his eyes. So Anna's place can? I took a sip of my hot bubble tea, the warmth spreading through my body. Do you like Anna? Jake asked, pinching my cheek. I pursed my lips. Jake pressed on. I couldn't help but smile. You'll find out soon enough. Jake's gaze shifted to something behind me. Never mind soon. Look behind you right now. I followed his gaze, and my eyes locked on a striking couple. I knew the woman. It was Anna. I knew the man, too. It was Alex, the guy everyone in high school whispered was Anna's boyfriend. Alex was slender with fair skin, a handsome and gentle guy, like a cool moonbeam. I think he studied fashion design in college and was a model now. As I was staring, a beautiful woman with a buzz cut and a strong, handsome face walked up to me. "Hey, can I get your number?" I smiled and we exchanged contacts. When I looked up again, Anna was walking towards us. By the time she reached us, I had just accepted the woman's friend request. "Not bad," I said, waggling my phone at Anna. "She's hot. My type." It wasn't a lie. I've always been into girls with a bit of an edge. "Congratulations. Where's Alex? It's been so long. We should at least say hi." To make it more convincing, I even craned my neck to look behind Anna. "Really? Didn't we see each other 6 months ago?" Jake looked between the two of us and finally broke the silence. "I gotta go. I have to work tomorrow. Bye," Anna and I said in unison. "I'll give you a ride," Anna offered. The car ride was filled with the sound of my and Jake's idle chatter. Anna was a silent chauffeur. The atmosphere was surprisingly harmonious. After dropping Jake off, we went back to her place. I turned on the living room lights and threw my coat on the couch. "I'm going to take a shower." "Alex said you two saw each other before graduation," Anna said, breaking the silence. "Yeah," I admitted, kneeling on the couch and leaning over the backrest. Anna walked over, placing her hands on the back of the couch, leaning down to my level. "He also told me you asked him if we ever dated." Her voice was low. "Is that important to you?" It was very, very important. Because you, Anna, were the moon I could never reach when I was young. I had a crush on Anna. No one knew. Not even Anna. Growing up, I told Anna everything. We lived across the hall from each other, and our parents were always busy with work. After kindergarten, it was just the two of us. In elementary school, I had a crush on a different person every week. The class president, the top student, the captain of the sports team. I didn't understand what like meant back then. I just thought they were cool. So every time I had a new crush, I'd tell Anna. She'd be there with her little backpack, asking me in her sweet, high-pitched voice, "Noah, don't you get tired of liking a different person every day?" "Nope," I'd say, because it's not real. It wasn't until I started writing love letters to Chloe that Anna realized it was serious. She started avoiding me. A few times I went to her room, and she would just say, "Noah, I'm tired. I don't want to hear about who you like anymore." I was a late bloomer. It wasn't until my sophomore year of high school that I realized I had a little crush on Anna. Or maybe it was a big one. But then Alex showed up. The rumors about him and Anna were everywhere. "Did you hear? Alex and Anna are together. They were on cleaning duty together. I heard they always studied together in the library." My jealousy was like a pot of boiling water about to spill over. So I did something I'm deeply ashamed of. The next time they were on cleaning duty together, I anonymously reported them to the principal's office for dating. It was a thrill. But then I saw the report. It was in a pink, scented envelope, one of the ones I bought to write love letters to Chloe. The handwriting was my left-handed scrawl. Alex was crying after being reprimanded by the teacher. Anna just stood there, her face blank. Seeing Alex cry, I was flooded with guilt. I was hiding by the window, watching the whole drama unfold. Anna turned her head, and our eyes met. Her gaze was so clear, so direct. If it started with guilt, it quickly turned into shame. I had become the person I despised the most, a tattletale, the lowest of the low in the high school social hierarchy. I avoided Anna for a long time after that. Every time I saw those dark eyes, my legs would go weak with guilt. I started leaving imported chocolates in Alex's desk, the expensive kind my parents bought. One day, Anna caught me. "What are you doing?" My face turned beet red. "Nothing." Anna walked closer. I resigned myself to my fate and held out my hand, revealing the chocolate in my palm. She took my arm, pried open my fingers, and took the chocolate. She looked at me, then slowly unwrapped it. The crinkling of the foil was deafening. She popped the chocolate in her mouth. "It's pretty sweet," she said casually. To my guilty ears, those words sounded like, "I forgive you." She must have known I wrote that letter. I was so ashamed. It made it impossible for me to even think about confessing my feelings to her. I felt like a terrible person. I had a journal filled with pages and pages about how much I liked Anna, how I wanted to tell her, but was too afraid. That year, I finally understood that a secret crush is a vow you can never speak aloud, like the journal I buried under the old oak tree in my backyard, covered in dirt. Before graduation, Jake became a model agent, and by some twist of fate, Alex became a model. I went to see Jake, and Alex's show had just ended. We hadn't seen each other in a while, and even though we weren't close in high school, he was surprisingly friendly. The first thing he said was, "So, how are things with you and Anna?" I was stunned. The same as always. We went to college in the same city, but at different schools. We weren't like a couple, texting every day. We only saw each other during the holidays when we'd watch the New Year's Eve specials together. "Huh," Alex said. "I thought you two would be together by now. Why would you say that?" He smiled. "You reported us for dating back in high school, because you liked her, right?" The memory hit me like a ton of bricks. I pressed my lips together, speechless. "You knew. You left me chocolate for a month straight. It would have been hard not to figure out. And I knew it was you too. She told me not to be mad at you, that your moral compass was still developing. She just felt bad that I had to take the fall. But she set me up with the class president after graduation, so we're even. I just can't believe you two are still so slow. You're not together yet." Anna knew. She knew everything. I had one secret, that I liked Anna, and no one knew. But she knew everything else. She knew about the senior who had a crush on me in my freshman year and would wait for me outside my classes every day. She knew about the time I was harassed at my part-time job in my sophomore year, and she came and beat the guy up and took me home. She knew about the time in my junior year when I tried to move on, to forget about her, and started seeing a girl from my club. She knew it all. The tragic tale of the childhood best friends. It sounded like a fairy tale. But did she like me back? "So you and him were never together?" Are you kidding? Of course not. I was just asking him for help with homework. We only ran into each other in the library by chance. I had a crush on a class president back then, the nerdy one with the black-rimmed glasses. Back in my room, I watched the video of Anna hula hooping on repeat. My heart was beating faster than ever before. I made a decision. I got drunk and stumbled into her house, using the alcohol as an excuse to kiss her. It was all a lie. The leak in my apartment wasn't that bad, but I moved out that night because I wanted to live with her. I didn't cut the tag off my new coat because I wanted her to do it. I let her unpack my suitcase, knowing my matching sets of underwear were inside. I broke the water heater and walked out with just a towel around my waist. It was all on purpose. If someone was going to have Anna, I wanted it to be me, with all my flaws, the one who took advantage of her kindness. When Anna asked me if it was important that she and Alex had never been together, I didn't answer. I went to my room and locked the door. After that day, Anna and I were like two people treading water, tangled up but unable to hold on. I was patient. Anna was waiting to see what I would do next. The beautiful girl from the first snow was still messaging me. She seemed to really like me. On New Year's Eve, Anna had to work late. I had prepared a small cake. She finally got home at 11:30 p.m. I put my phone on the table and went to get the cake from the fridge. Ding! A message from Maya from a shop. Anna squinted at the screen. Maya, huh? She's tall. I had to bite my lip to keep from smiling. Yeah, she's all right. I opened the message from Maya. It was a picture. I let out an appreciative whistle. Anna was sitting down, but she was still taller than me. From her angle, she could see the phone screen clearly. It was a shirtless picture, abs and all. Anna was still smiling, but it was a little scary. Nice body. It's been a month, right? Are you going to ask her out? She sounded like a concerned parent. I pretended to think for a moment. Soon, maybe, but I don't really know how to date. Anna nodded thoughtfully. Don't worry. I can teach you. She sounded so generous. I wasn't scared. Okay. Anna stood up, looking down at me with a cool, detached air. She walked past me to the liquor cabinet and pulled out a bottle of the strongest tequila. She slammed it down on the table. The sound was heavy, and her presence was intense. I instinctively took a step back. You're going to teach me? What's the tequila for? She opened the bottle with a practiced ease. To set the mood, she said slowly. She leaned against the table, her eyes locking with mine, a predatory glint in them, as if to say, "You dare." I coughed. The tequila was strong. I was starting to realize I was a lightweight, but I was too proud to admit it. "Have you ever even been in a relationship? How can you teach me?" I'd never heard her talk about dating anyone. "I have." I was stunned. "How many?" "That depends on how you count. In my book, holding hands, hugging, and kissing all count." She looked at me intently. Holding hands, we'd done that more than once. Hugging, the time she called me Scarlett Johansson. Kissing, the time I was drunk and kissed her. It was cool and soft. "So how many?" I asked, a smile playing on my lips as I stepped closer until we were only inches apart. Anna's voice was hoarse. "So just one." She slowly leaned in, so close I could see the fine hairs on her face. I turned my head, avoiding her lips. "Whoa, it's almost midnight. Happy New Year. I'm going to bed." I started to walk away. I heard a low chuckle behind me. "Playing games with me?" In an instant, a hand grabbed my wrist and pulled me back to the table. Anna's hands were on my waist as she lifted me onto the table in one smooth motion. Her breath smelled of tequila. "Still playing, Noah?" I casually draped my arm over her shoulder. "What are you talking about?" "I don't understand." "Do you remember your first kiss?" she whispered. I smiled and shook my head. The midnight bells began to chime. A new year had begun. As fireworks exploded outside, Anna's whisper was like a dream, popping softly in my ear. "Then let me help you remember." She kissed me. I kissed her back, passionately. After all, she knew my intentions, and I knew her pretense. My subtle seductions, her quiet cooperation. We both knew the game we were playing.